I can't hear it.
Hi, everyone.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
I completely missed the cue. I'm an airhead. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fast Times end of season 1 live stream Q&A with us, the cast and DM of Fast Times at D&D High. So season 1 ended in October with a big change and a surprise where we revealed that this is a magical girl campaign. Woo! And we released the art that was done by the same artist who did the original art of our, kids in their Monday clothing. And now the magical girl era of Fast Times has begun. I can't wait to torture these motherfuckers. Anyway, so to introduce all of us, I'm here with Wren, who is the cast member that plays Cecil, our resident half-orc druid. Wren, why don't you talk about yourself really quickly?
All right. Hey, I'm Wren. I play Cecil, as we mentioned, who has just accepted the Mantle of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also producing this whole thing, so if anything's going wrong, let me know in the chat. And also, if you've got questions, plug them in there so that I can stick them in the doc.
Wren is also the master of all our social media. If you're interacting with the Fast Times at D&D High account, you are most likely interacting with Wren. Wren does a fuck ton for us. Let's just be honest there.
It's not always me. I mean, somebody said something really weird the other day on the Twitter, I noticed, and that was totally maybe.
Oh, right. That little comment that somehow made it onto my... Everyone go looking for that. It's hilarious. It's really fun. Just to let you know. Look in the tweets and replies of the Fast Times at D&D account. Comment on it. It's really good. Anyway, we're also joined by Elise, who is a cast member that plays Hudson, our elven barbarian who has just accepted the mantle of what, Elise?
Of war. Probably.
Yeah.
He's not paying attention.
Yeah.
So talk a little about yourself, Elise.
I am several sentient otters piloting a human meat suit that we found. Don't ask where. I am also a local rap artist in the Cambridge area with my rap partner, Just Jill. We just released our first album, and you can find us on SoundCloud at Brains and Bars, and also on Instagram at BrainsNBars_music. You can see our sexy faces when we put on our Instagram.
Someone should drop the link to that in the chat.
It's around somewhere.
It's around. Elise.
I'm on the internet.
Elise is really good. Really, listen to Booty Bandit. Booty Bandit is one of my favorite songs. Is Gucci and Gold on this one too?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, listen to that song too. Just listen to all of them. They're really, really good, I promise.
Yeah.
We are also joined by someone who a lot of you may know from a lot of things, Caro. Caro plays Ollie, who is our, human trickster. Wait, what's the actual title? Arcane Trickster.
Yeah,
Our human arcane trickster. I know D&D. I run a D&D game. And Ollie just accepted what?
The Mantle of Order. That's right.
Caro.
He's an anti-capitalist anarchist order paladin.
I mean, I have thoughts about that, but we've talked about them. So
Right. Yes.
Shenanigans ensue.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for hosting this, Persephone. It's lovely to see everybody, and I'm so excited to get all of our questions.
You are not getting away from this. You have to talk about yourself. I just learned that you helped with 10 candles for fuck. Is there anything that you haven't done in this community?
I've just been doing role-playing games and LARPs and all this stuff for like 20 years now. So
They've never touched their toes.
A game just released with your voice acting in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you this game is actually playable on if you have a smart speaker or if you have a Google Pixel, or I think you can actually download the app, the Earplay app from the Apple Store also, and you can play the game. It's an interactive audio drama, and it's a White Wolf production. It's a Wraith the Oblivion game, and it's called the Orpheus Device. And I believe you can find the website at theorpheusdevice.com. And you can check out like this. I actually voice acted for this years ago, and I went back and listened to the performance, and like I'm actually super happy with it still. It's a really, really messed up game. So content warning, like violence, abuse, family, like really big family drama, big
content
problems.
warning, White Wolf.
Yeah. It's a really, really dark
too.
game. But if that's up your alley, then check it out. It's a really, really cool. The fact that you can play a game on your smart speaker, I think is just really fun.
You did
That
a
is
really
really
good
cool.
job.
Oh, thank you, baby. And
It's like you
what
do
else?
with almost everything.
Oh, thank you.
The only thing you can't do is touch your toes. That's like it.
Oh, that's something I can actually do.
I'm working on it.
There
I'm
you go.
slowly working on it.
Slowly.
But besides that, I also I teach at Northeastern University. I teach game design and the business of games. And I absolutely love my Northeastern students. If any of them are watching, hello, I love you. And I run Boston Fig, which is usually we run an annual game festival that's an in-person event. This year, I'm super excited to say that we finally have a date for a virtual fest, which is January 16th. So if you go to bostonfig.com, you can see all of our different programming and cool stuff that we're going to have. Like people are going to be walking around in like a 2D platformer type of environment and be able to like bump into people and chat with them about their game development and see the videos for the game trailers that they'll have. And it's going to be super fun.
And with that, we come to last but certainly not least. I was going to make a joke, but I decided not to. So, Nuance, who plays our lovely little parental disappointment, Sir Sisithus Kazi, who just accepted the mantle of what?
Chaos. Which, because if you weren't already blown away by Ollie having the mantle of order, then comes Surrey in the back like mantle of chaos. Hey, what up? I'm Nuance. I find it incredibly unfair that I had to go after Caro. Like, I would feel it unfair to have to go after all of these people, but like, I got nothing. What do I do? Real quick, anybody.
Dungeons and Dratinis.
Dungeons and Dratinis. You do so many things. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you do a lot. You were just on Femsplained.
Which was so good. I had such a blast.
You're also really pretty.
Yeah, like
Agreed.
Look at this
really
podcast.
pretty.
There is literally nobody here who's not attractive.
Fair.
Just woke up like this.
I did
don't know.
too.
I'm in,
Totally
like,
didn't take.
Totally woke up
mega
like this.
frump mode right now. I got tucked into a Christmas sweater.
You got yourself into that Christmas sweater. Don't blame me.
Peer pressure.
I broke the scheme.
Sorry. Peer pressure.
I have a Sailor Moon, an ugly Christmas Sailor Moon sweatshirt, but I wore that because of course I did, so now it's in the wash. So I'm going with my Sailor Moon cardigan and hoping that like it's at least thematically correct.
I am not wearing Christmas anything.
I have one Christmas thing.
What's your one Christmas thing?
The Sailor Moon Christmas sweatshirt.
Oh, I thought you meant on.
Oh no.
Okay. Cool.
All right, no, that's not true. I do have two Christmas things. I'm in fact wearing my other Christmas thing. Le Fée Rouge, very cute. They're sloths and Christmas trees.
Le Fée Rouge is a lovely indie lingerie company that's run by a friend of most of us here, I think, Jamie.
And a sponsor of the podcast.
That's right.
Yes.
And a sponsor of the podcast. Oh my God. How did I forget that? It's been so long since we've been working on episodes that I'm having trouble getting back into the headspace of like, go, go, go.
I'm currently waiting for my Chocobo boxers to come in the mail. I'm very excited.
I just
wanted to get
remembered-
those so
Orders right now.
badly.
That's awesome. I'm really happy about that.
I just remembered that I owe Jamie promotional pics for the Chocobo print. I should do that soon because I got not lingerie, but underwear sponsors that I could take photographs for. And I'm thinking of doing that in a Tifa cosplay.
Ooh.
So we'll see.
A plus.
Mhm.
In January, after the Christmas rush run slows down, Jamie's going to make me a sheer rainbow dress, so my magical girl apotheosis will be complete. Like my personal magical girl apotheosis.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to happen within the game.
No.
But with that note, why don't we get into some questions? I can talk, people. It's not like I do this professionally at all.
Avalon,
Wren,
I'm showing it to
would you be
you.
so kind as to provide us with the questions?
I got a little bit of like vocal discombobulation because you were talking and Nuance was talking, and therefore I couldn't hear either of you. I'm sorry. What just happened? Was
That's
that to
fine.
me?
I was just asking if you'd like to ask us some questions
Yes,
that we received from our lovely
absolutely.
patrons and others.
Sorry, I thought that was maybe to me, and then I was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong. I have audio processing issues. Hi. All right, so I have gone through and categorized and sorted all the questions that we got from our Patreon, from our Discord, and Twitter. And so I sorted them out between podcast logistics / the back end. Sorry, I thought somebody would giggle at back end. Apparently, I'm overestimating.
I just am the back
back
end. Like, I just get in the back end, take it in the back end, you know? It's
You
so
all heard
fun.
it. She claimed
You are the bigger bottom on this podcast, damn it.
just
I
because
used
I
to-
have a bigger bottom.
I used to work at a company that sold literally back end as a service.
Hey, me too. College is expensive.
Yes, podcast logistics / the back end, the world, and the characters. So, starting with some stuff that is, just the nuts and bolts of what it is that we do. Z would like to know, and this is exactly their words. This isn't a question so much as a general prompt, but I'm fascinated by the process you go through with how recording works, editing, audio, etc. Also, do you have favorite things that had to be left on the cutting room floor?
Oh, this is a good one. So they want to hear about the process, and they also want to hear about things that we like that may have been on the cutting room floor.
Mhm.
Let's talk about something that didn't get left on the cutting room floor, but because we all fought for it. Derrick.
Ugh.
Derrick is our audio editor, if you don't know. We had a throwdown over something that happened in the second episode, which was the part where Ollie helps Ned escape from Tella Bane's classroom where everyone's giving him dirty looks. That was originally cut by Derrick, and we were all like, no, we will not stand for this. We need that character moment. It's great.
Yeah, it says
Whatever,
so much
Derrick.
about who Ollie is. Like, it doesn't make like the rest of his character arc. Once now that we're up to where we are, makes so much more sense when you see that moment in the first episode. Otherwise, we don't really have a lot of tenderness from Ollie. You don't see that side of him in those early episodes. He's very guarded.
I will point out, because I always do, because I really actually love this moment between them where Ollie is joking around about not using deodorant and rubbing crystals under his arms. And Suri's like, I honestly have no idea how to take that. And Ollie just looks at her and is like, you take everything really seriously. I'm going to have to be careful with you. And I think that's and it happens so fast. I think a lot of people, no shame for overlooking that, but I think that is another really good key character moment that we get with Ollie early on. Just like, I'm joking, I'm pranking, you're not following, I'll be cool.
I actually kind of disagree with Caro, because I think that that's what Ollie really, really wants to be. And I do think that Ollie has a hardness to him. But I mean, the first few moments of Ollie's introduction, you have Ollie being like, your brother's an asshole to Suri, and being like, come little library girl, you are with me now. Like,
Well, and then also even with Hudson later, he's like, "You're kind of weird, aren't you?"
Hudson's not weird. He's totally normal, regular guy.
as far as like other
Super.
things that have been cut that we were sad to see go.
Oh, the Typhesia line.
Oh no,
the
that's my
toothbrush.
fault. That's my fault. The tooth. Okay, so I had to retake some lines for Typhesia because I decided I wanted to change her entire voice. Because originally she sounded like this, and now she sounds like Jennifer Coolidge on crack.
Definite improvement.
And I forgot to include in the line about the, sex toy that was in the dishwasher. I forgot to include the line, "Oh, well, that really cleans me out." And I am the saddest person. In fact, there's still a part of me that wants to retroactively go to the recording that's uploaded and change it, but I think Derrick would kill me.
It's a good joke, but I don't think you need to go through all that much effort. Now they all know about the toothbrush joke. But yeah, there was another part of that question, I believe.
Process.
The process.
Yes.
Giant pain in the ass, but we're finally mastering it.
Yeah, it was hard in the beginning. Like tech issues, we still have them. You're always going to have them if you do a podcast. But like coping with and dealing with them at first was very hard. Also, we had a lot to learn as far as creating proper audio quality, which a lot of it comes from Derrick, coaching us through, which is a nicer way of putting it. Derrick is responsible for a lot of why we have the quality that we do now. Obviously, we bring the role play and a bunch of other things to the table, but the sound, we owe a lot to Derrick and teaching us and being patient with us. As far as I just did a Twitter post on the process. It's really involved. Like we do 2 or 3 rounds of QA. We do a music assignment meeting. We do, line retakes. We usually do line retakes if the audio quality is off or questionable. Nothing in the podcast is scripted except for the transformation scenes. Those were scripted. Nothing is really scripted except for that. And so occasionally, since we are just playing a D&D game, audio snafus happen. People bump mics. Things go wrong.
Birds.
Stuff like that.
Birds.
We
Cats.
also have problems with ambient sounds sometime in the podcast, and sometimes those lines need to be redone. Or if you're extra like me and decide you don't like a character voice, you have to re-record the character's entire lines thus far. Not that that's happened twice.
It's only happened twice.
I was thinking about maybe
I'm sure it
changing
won't
Hudson's
happen
voice.
again.
Maybe Hudson will talk like this now. I have to go back and record all my lines again.
God, don't do it. Don't do it.
Can you imagine? Like,
I'm
all
hard enough
Hudson's
recording
charm-
characters that don't show up all the time. I can't imagine doing that for one of the players.
Can you imagine Hudson leaning on the side of something, being like, "Hey,
Hey, girl! Hey!
How's it going? I'm on the wrestling team.
I really like wrestling."
I'm castrated!
It's lactose.
Like, honestly, we could spend all day talking about the process of the podcast. That's like a discussion in and of itself. There's so much involved just in posting, too. Like, Wren has to do a bunch of stuff with posting. There's a lot of stuff to do with art things. Like, we have policies and SOP for a bunch of stuff. We have a best practices doc. Like, there's a lot.
We have rules about reading fan fiction.
I'm sorry, okay?
Sorry, guys, we can't read your fan fictions.
Okay, so before everyone is like, why can't we read the fan fiction? So one of the things that you can get into trouble with fan fiction is if you read a fanfic and you're part of the creative team, it can color the process of what you're creating. So I have asked people on the podcast team not to read the fan fiction. Not that you can't create it. We absolutely love that people are creating it. And maybe when the podcast is done, we'll do something where we read aloud some of your works. And I know they exist. Viewing fan art's fine now.
Yeah, so we have a channel in the Discord that's for, theory crafting and fanfic discussion that is just muted out for all of us.
Is it active? I actually don't know.
I don't know. Because it's muted for me. I can
oh,
go
right.
in,
None of us can see it.
I can go in there if somebody tags me if there's some interpersonal problem, but nobody has, so...
I'm choosing to believe that it's full. People just write like drabbles and quick snippets of conversation. That's what I believe in my heart.
Nuance comes from a background deep and rich in fan fiction, and so do I. So, like, the fact that we can't read it is kind of killing us.
That just means that all of you who are fan artists, and I open that up to like every kind of crafting, because we've seen dice bags and desserts and
drinks, music. So our first piece of fan art that we received was by Jake Lionheart, and was music. There's like a Fast Times inspired album out there. Like, that blows my mind still.
Jake Lionheart, if you're listening, we love you so much.
We do actually adore you.
It's true. So, but that just means that because I can't read all the fanfic about all of the people kissing all of the other people, you're gonna have to step it up with the fan art, people. I need it to live. I will hold Suri hostage.
I have some fan art from Miriam saved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really cute. Miriam, who's
Miriam is listening right now, so we're gonna wave to Miriam.
Hi, Miriam.
We love you.
Miriam is also another one of our artists. Did the chibi art that is going to be used for some of our hopeful merch soon.
Perfect.
And it's also been released to our page. Have we released that to general yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's on Twitter, I think.
Cool. It's really cool. You should go check it out. Like,
Baby, I know
Miriam is one of my best friends. We have known each other over a decade now. We went to high school together, and I adore her and her work.
Very talented.
And she will have a webtoon coming out sometime soon.
Yay!
So
Amazing.
be on the lookout for a very talented, touching story that I can't wait, because I've known about it for a while and I'm really excited.
I will say, as a caveat to the we can't read theory crafting stuff, sometimes I do put up polls and things on Twitter that ask for specific questions on things that maybe you're all thinking. But I usually put the caveat, we are so far ahead recording-wise, what I'm asking about has already been determined and you can't sway us.
That's true. That's fair.
Who won the Among Us poll?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, there was an Among Us poll?
I think Cecil won.
No, it was definitely Suri.
Was it actually Suri?
What? No.
Like, who would be the best at... I'm gonna go...
Who would be the
Cecil was
imposter?
winning the last time
Who
I
would be-
saw it.
Hudson won the character who the audience assumes is gonna get their first on-screen smooch.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wonder who
I didn't
that
know
would be
there were
from.
polls out. What happened?
You don't check
So,
Twitter enough.
Elise, yeah, there is a site, we call it Twitter.
It's on the
Where we
tweeters.
engage with people.
Oh,
No.
no, okay, so... Actually, Hudson won a lot of polls. So we have,
Ooh.
of our
I didn't
four
even know there were
kids...
polls.
Of our four kids, who would be the most likely to accidentally spill their magical girl secret to the world?
Oh, yeah,
Hudson won.
That's
Yeah.
totally fair.
Yeah,
That's true.
Absolutely.
Totally
Was
true.
that unanimous?
Yep. Probably.
No, it was 41%.
pretty
Then
good.
Suri and Cecil were tied.
But they don't have any friends.
So...
Woo!
It doesn't say to friends, it says to the world.
Mm.
I have a number of friends that is now greater than 0. I have numbers in my phone now. Several.
Still more for your family that despises you. Anyway,
The
what are
group
the other
project
polls?
is playing Among Us. Who is the imposter? Hudson with 43%, Suri
Really?
with 33.
Dang, Cecil was winning when I saw it.
Which of the four protagonists do you think will be the first to get an on-screen smooch? Hudson with 50%,
Wow.
Suri with 22%, and no love for Ollie and Cecil.
Wow.
Wow.
However,
harsh.
Ollie did win one. And that was the first one, which is, which Fast Times character do you think will step up and be the leader of the group project?
Oh, that's so cute.
And that
Where
was-
does the third poll go? Athena! God,
Well,
we need to put that on a t-shirt. We need to get merch.
I'm just glad that it's in text so we can see how the spelling of pole is, honestly.
Oh, that's something else so we'll move on, but here's another thing that I'm sad got cut. We had in the episode where there's a fight against Nega Ned, which is our in-house name for Evil Ned or whatever. There was a discussion over what should be used to reference the handle of a scythe. The shaft, the pole, the pillar,
Beam.
what was the actual word for it?
I don't remember.
Snapped, I think, or
It's snap. It's snap. All of these things were really suggestive, and Derrick was like, I hate all of you. I'm sad that conversation got cut because that was really funny.
did it though?
It did.
Did.
Oh, okay.
It did. You should release that at some point. It's really funny.
So, moving on, since I'm asking the questions.
Yep.
For us as players, how do we think COVID has affected the podcast? For the better, for the worse?
Better?
That's a hard thing to say, but kinda.
Kind of.
Better?
Oh wow, it's so hard.
So, when we got into COVID, I lost the job that I had just gotten because of COVID. And then I got another job that pays me a lot better, and I work from home.
Nice.
So I can make my schedule. So, like, by the weekend, I'm not just, like, completely exhausted. So for me, myself, and I would say quarantine COVID has helped me perform in the podcast significantly better because I just do nonsense all day and then podcasts on the weekend.
I also think, and this is gonna be weird, so like just give me a second. We are all friends. And not
Says
being...
you. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I will light this house on fire.
I'm also in the same house, just so you know.
And so not being able to see each other, I think definitely gives our performance a little bit of not an edge, but an energy that I'm not sure it would necessarily have if we could just hang out as much all the time. I mean, because, you know, especially earlier on, recordings, when we were recording, that was when we saw each other, and there was just kind of, I feel like, a latent excitement that was almost palpable, because it was like, hi friend, I like you, or I'm starting to like you, like we're becoming friends, and this is good, and I really miss you, and let's play together, let's play real hard. And I think that really did play into the early, especially those early episodes where we needed that high energy to bring everybody in, because it was, you know, motivated by thwarted affection.
I'm also not a player, but I will add a note to, originally we were going to record this in person, and that's the thing that changed with COVID. And I think that recording at a distance is actually better logistically than us all going to the same area. It's also more accessible for Nuance, which is always a plus. Accessibility is important. I think, honestly, it makes a lot of things easier. We would have a whole new set of tech problems if we recorded in person, honestly. So, like, it's really awkward to say that COVID probably improved the podcast for the better, but it's kind of true.
I don't know that I would have been able to do the podcast if COVID hadn't been a thing.
Yeah, because your
Fair.
schedule.
Yeah.
Originally, I asked another friend of mine to be in the podcast, and then they had to do what was right for them and not do it. And then the question of, oh my God, I could ask Caro. Caro's probably going to say no. And then Caro said yes. And I was like, yes. So.
Yeah. And then we all got married. All of us.
All of us.
Oh,
were
I
one
didn't know we
massive
were
Got
polycule.
married.
I didn't know we were
Five
telling everybody
of
about
us.
that.
Oh yeah, we're all married.
Yeah, we're all married. Not just for insurance benefits either.
Yeah, that's why
We do
Sephi
butt
lives
stuff.
in my house. We just recorded an ass, in fact, so like
We sure did.
Oh my God, I love that our fucking after school special is just known as the ass now. I just love it.
I know that my husband's in chat, so
Surprise.
sorry.
Surprise, Paul!
Hi.
Wren wants to answer the question also.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would say firmly neutral, because being I I recall the early talks about logistics, and if any of us had a computer that was powerful enough to handle, 5 incoming microphones and sorting out that sound, and it was all just like not super shaking out very well. So yes, the logistics got easier. For a little while, it was very easy time-wise to get everything done. But a lot of the mental health stuff that comes with all of COVID has made parts of the Fast Times process not very easy. So I think it kind of, for me, like comes out in the wash a little bit.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's fair and
fair.
valid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
Very weird.
And it's been a whole year!
It has been a whole
And it's
year.
only been a year!
It actually has been, since Elise says it, it has been a year at this point since our first Fast Times planning meeting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's true.
On my Facebook memories is my first personal art that I made of Hudson.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I think we're almost at our friend anniversary with Wren and Elise and I. Because I didn't know y'all at all. And then...
Oh, really?
Now you know us so
I
well.
forget that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I met Wren and Elise both, at least more than just like randomly in passing when I came to guest star at Wrath. And
At
you know,
Adventure Pub.
yeah. Oh, right. No,
Oh,
Elise,
no, wait,
that's
yeah.
true. So our year friend-versary has, well, acknowledgement-versary. I knew who you were. I had now seen your face. You existed. I wouldn't say we were friends at that point, but it was like,
you were on
hello,
TV
you.
together before you were friends. Jesus.
We were on television together. I don't know if you remember.
But we were on TV, yeah.
We
Hi,
were
I'm
on
Nuance from TV.
Yeah, we got interviewed as part of a local thing on Chronicle for...
My UPS delivery guy at work recognized me on the television. He was just like, "You're on TV," and I was like, "Oh my god, Bob, you like."
My dental hygienist and the guy who does my brace at Hanger Clinic both recognized me. Like, you
Really?
were there? Yeah.
Hey,
That's so
you
cool.
get recognized by anyone.
We're very attractive, is the bottom line.
Very
So.
true.
I see you, Elise. I just want you to know I see you. I saw that.
So
we do
this
remember.
next question, Nuance is not allowed to answer because it is for everyone else. And this is from Maggie. I wonder what everyone's favorite thing about working with Nuance is.
Oh.
I'm also not allowed to answer this question because I
I
already
think my
did.
favorite thing about Nuance and working with Nuance is her just complete lack of need for any sort of validation. Just never need.
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Holy shit.
So everybody, this
You
is
an
my
Oscar,
announcement.
baby.
I'm leaving the podcast. Everybody here is terrible.
Okay,
And
we're
I
gonna
don't
go to a
deserve
break
this.
so that I can change the overlay. We'll be right back. No,
Oh my gosh, it's already 9.
I was.
That was a joke.
Oh.
taking a break.
Ren said a funny thing.
because
get it now.
because
I
Nuance
get
was
it.
gonna leave, and so I'd have to change the cameras.
I got you.
I'm gonna answer the question. Nuance has, despite the fact that it probably should be maybe technically somebody else, I guess, because of the way that we all met each other, I feel like for me, Nuance has become a little bit of like the stable kind of glue holding a lot of us together emotionally sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Nuance always checks in on us and
Nuance is the healer in and out of game.
is just a
Mhm.
very present friend who is very aware when shit is going wrong for you. And I mean, Elise is that too. I get cute animal pictures all the time whenever I make like a sappy like angst post. Elise is there like, "Here, do you want an otter holding hands?" And I'm just like, "Yes, I do." But Nuance, like big sister feels going on with Nuance.
So
Cry.
true.
Like,
Very
Ren,
true.
you can stay. You can stay.
Until the next time I make a pun.
That's true. And then,
Yeah.
and then everybody's
So
fired.
about 5 more minutes. Anyway,
Everybody's fired.
I love doing almost everything with Nuance. Almost anything with Nuance makes me happy. Nuance is like everyone in the podcast are my best friends. These are the people that I'm the closest to out of everyone. But Nuance is basically family to me. Nuance is basically my sibling. We are very close. We do a lot of things together. We live together now, sort of. I live in the upstairs apartment.
We're married.
Yeah, we're married now. We're married and we're siblings, so it's kind of, a legal gray area, incest only hot if your sister is, and I guess my sister's hot, so look at Caro's face. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make incest sorry, I'm choking.
You're all married to your sister now. Congratulations.
Incest. Anyway, so
New England.
Nuance. We're not in Maine. Nuance is near and dear to my heart, and there's usually a lot of times people will discourage you from working with people that you're super close to, but fuck no, this has been great.
Thank you, everybody. All right, everybody's answered. It's time to go.
Nope.
I don't think Elise answered.
Nope.
No.
I don't think Caro actually answered
I
either.
did not actually answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I jumped in. Then, yeah.
Caro answered Elise answered in Discord, turning into a giant fight and then we got banned from the patron back end by Wren.
Wow.
Oops.
Wow.
Sorry, not sorry. No, I am actually.
You
a
were
little
clogging
sorry.
up the tubes. I was trying to get questions.
That's what I do with all of my nonsense. Let's see. My joke answer, which is actually still half true, is that Nuance is really easy to torture.
That is very true.
It is true. That
Very
you're
true.
incredibly easy to torture. So, if you want to have an emotionally potent moment or work through some emotional, scene that you have, you can run it by Nuance and she will be in tears, and then you'll know that you did a good job. So that's really satisfying to watch somebody suffer in real time.
Elise, the monster, everyone, of the podcast.
Sometimes I'll just have an idea. I was like, well, what if Hudson did this soul crushing thing in front of and or to Surrey? What would you do? And then Nuance can't respond because she's crying, and I'm like, yes, that'll happen now. I'll just put that in there. Just wondering. No reason.
I'm so nice. And you are you.
But other than that, Nuance is great. She's wonderful and very smart and very nice. And when she's not those things, she's still very pretty. So
wow.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about working with Nuance is that, Nuance and I have known each other for a few years, but not well. We knew each other kind of oh, I see you here, and we had a good interaction here. We had a positive interaction here. We're just constantly kind of coming in and out of each other's circles, and always having good good vibes, good interactions. But since starting this podcast, we've become actual really good close friends because we're always on the same page. Always. Fucking always. And I don't know if it's a Pisces thing or
it's a Pisces thing.
100% a Pisces
but
thing.
whatever I'm going for, I know
crybabies.
that Nuance is right there, and whatever she's going for, she knows that I'm right there. So we're constantly giving each other the eyes, and we're yeah, okay, do it. And and that just helps us to elevate each other, elevate other people. We have it's just so easy to work with Nuance. It's great.
Also, full commitment from Nuance. She just goes for it, just constantly.
Totally.
Always.
Okay, can we be done now, pretty please?
Yes.
That makes me want to do it more. Remember what Elise said about easy to torture?
It was sarcasm.
Easy to torture.
This is the 5th time in this live stream I've been called easy, and that's rude.
So
Well,
it was
listen,
sarcasm,
Nuance.
but then somebody reiterated and said they did want to hear the answer, and that was Maggie. So
Yeah,
I
you can
mean,
blame Maggie.
Nuance. Just
You
because
can blame
this
our loyal
conversation
listener.
isn't very nuanced in your favor.
Our great, wonderful listener, Maggie. How dare you?
Wait, how many
Thank you, Maggie.
hours are we doing this? Because we have so many other questions.
yeah,
and we
I'm
haven't-
gonna slide us on.
Okay.
I have been trying to do that for like 10 minutes now.
Okay, so, and this is from Caitlin. We mentioned a card system in the Halloween special to help establish topic boundaries. How did we as a group establish our hard limits at the start of this project? And what tips do you have for players and GMs to have those conversations for their own games?
Can I take this really quick?
Yep.
So, Nuance recently actually bought us some really fancy cards that I do not have to hand. Oh, I do! They're still in the package. These things, they're awesome. Before we were using like anything we had as a color-coded system. That's something that I stole from Open for Adventure. You should check out their channel. I'm sure that it's a safety system that they've used before. It's also something that's heavily inspired by, kink scene safety systems and consent and stuff like that. I will say that as far as the setup of this podcast and finding out what people's limits are, I wouldn't do it the same way that I did back then. So what I did was I gave everyone, there was a character history sheet where I asked them a bunch of character questions so I knew who they were and what they were playing and stuff. And at the bottom, there were stuff about hard lines and limits and questions like that. Now, I would not ask them to just write them out. I would send them, there's this checklist. I can't remember the name of it. If I can figure it out, I'll post it to Twitter. But there's a checklist, very popular, used a lot, about consent in gaming. It has a lot of common triggers on it, and people can put their hard limits, their red, yellow, green, like what they're okay with, what they are not, like on testy ground with, and what they aren't. And I just think that that's a better way to do it. And I think that because it's so easily accessible, it's something that every GM should use.
I posted the checklist.
Yeah,
in
Monty Cook,
our
that's
chat. It is the Monty Cook Games checklist. If I could tack on, I DM sometimes too. I like that checklist, but what I generally do is I have all of my players submit an anonymous form, and then I populate a list based on that, just because I don't want anyone to have the pressure of having to fess up to something that they don't want to necessarily talk about. They just want it to not show up and not have to deal with it. But I have had GMs give us the Monty Cook form and have us fill it out, and then they compiled the thing based on that anonymously as well. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's generally you shouldn't be giving out these answers. I think that the form is a very good idea too, actually, now that I think of that.
If I can just actually kind of share a quick heartwarming story about boundaries and things and lines. When I first started Wrath, I was going to be just a guest character, and then it was, no, you should join, and it was great, and it's a great game. And Steffi and I sat down and we were talking about kind of lines and limits, and I was still having a whole lot of trouble dealing with the fact that, at 36, 37 years old, I was suddenly disabled. So I looked at Steffi and I was like, can we please make it somehow that no matter what happens, my character doesn't lose her mobility? Like, she's a dancer. I'm doing a whole lot of processing through my RP character. And Steffi immediately is like, of course. And then without even hesitating, turned around and gave my character like a ring of featherfall and everything like that, just to make sure that no matter what, there was always a mechanical thing of, you don't have to worry about this. This is never something you're going to have to deal with in this game. And I was so touched by it, because it was a big deal. And to have her just immediately turn around and be like, not only do I don't just have to remember this ever, you've got this thing now where it doesn't matter what I throw at you. This isn't something you're going to have to worry about. And thank you, Steffi. I love you.
I completely forgot about that. For anyone who doesn't know, Wrath is our home game that is on pause during COVID, which is sad because it's honestly, I love Fast Times. I love it to pieces. Wrath is sort of like my opus in some ways, I would say. I love Fast Times. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but Wrath is based on a lot of my heritage, so it's like there's shields there too.
All right, so that is the end of our sort of nuts and bolts questions, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the questions are going to fly by fairly quickly because they are more fluffy, character-driven stuff. But we do have a couple of world questions, which are pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So from Lori, are there any other in-world holiday traditions we can look forward to hearing about?
Nuance, go ahead.
Winter's Tide is coming!
On December 22nd, we will be releasing our holiday special, which will be a little different than what you might expect from a holiday event. Go ahead, Nuance.
So Winter's Tide takes place on the longest night of the year, on the equinox, the solstice, the winter solstice, and it is a night where everybody stays inside, like locks their doors. There are wards that are connected. The wards have to be connected to a living thing. So most of the time they are connected to trees, and the trees light up to create the wards, because you have to, you need to stay inside because every year there was a huge monster that would wander the earth, and anyone who was caught outside or could be lured outside would have terrible things happen to them, like pieces left around terrible things. And that, that was 100 years ago, and at this point it's no very commercialized. Like there are restaurants that have like huge, it's like a mix of the holiday season and New Year's, where you stay in all night and then come out leave at dawn, and you've got lock-ins at libraries, at malls, at all sorts of things. Huge parties are the norm, but it's supposed to be a day. If Hexenween is a day of like ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties where kids get to go trick-or-treating, Winter's Tide is a day of actual terror where you remember that you are very small and the cosmos is very big and the light needs to come back. That's what one of the zodiacs are based on, in fact. The year that you were born, and your zodiac is the year you were born, and the monster that would be rampaging in that year. So every 12 years, it is it's your year. We're all too old. We don't have years anymore. But we have the whole zodiac written out, and
we nuanced this. I should mention that I have turned the holidays, for the most part, with some guidelines, over to the players to design. So most likely, whenever we get to these events, the players will run something that's related to it. There might be in-game other events that happen at those times, like that I run, but for the most part, I have let people just design what they're going to need, or what they want. Those are the words.
Hexenween is Winter's Tide is coming. There's a Winter's Tide carol that we came up for the Year of the Beholder, which is just, what is it?
It's just he sees you when you're sleeping,
right.
repeating it over and over.
But in increasingly creepy tones.
I see you when you're sleeping.
We have a lot of fun in our back.
We have fun here.
We have so fun.
We have fun.
Don't act like that's not going to be in the episode, because it's going to be.
So we did have a question from MT on Twitter. Can Hexenween be canon? Actually, it was amazing, and it fits so well.
It is canon. Well, okay. So here's the like wonkiness of this. It's like Hexenween is in the future versus like now in game. So it's like complicated in that sort of like realm, but like they're canon. They're more canon than like anime movies, but like there's also a bunch of other stuff that's going to be happening up until then. So it's a little bit complicated. Just it's canon, just don't look at it too hard. Right?
Yeah, canon adjacent.
Mm-hmm. Once you get to the point in the story where Hexenween can chronologically slide in, you'll see that we all did some like little things here and there that make
A little bit.
So now,
Oh, one thing we should say before we get off Winter's Tide is that we will have our first guest. Noir Enigma will be guesting the podcast for Winter's Tide, and we are so excited to have our first guest. Technically second, but you'll find out about that later. But Noir will be the first guest that we release something with, and we are really excited to have him.
all right. So the reason I did the very dramatic knuckle crack is because now we're down to the character questions.
Oh boy.
So this is from Lori. If the characters lived in the real world, what would they want to be when they grew up?
I have an answer. Tattoo artist.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Tattooed artist and underground revolutionary.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Organizer of Black Bloc, like his neighborhood's Black Bloc.
I like it.
Hudson definitely thinks he's just gonna do wrestling for the rest of his life. Either he's going to be wrestling himself or teaching the wrestling to young ones. You know?
But how do you wrestle yourself?
Is that like when you wrestle emotions?
Hardest person to wrestle is always yourself.
Oh God.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds smart, so I said it.
Suri would be probably either like probably like either a kindergarten teacher or a social worker who writes really smutty romance novels on the side under a pseudonym.
And is super famous for it.
But keeps a strict stick, like, no, I'm Miss Thescazi. I'm just very proper and sweet.
Suri
and
is
over.
basically Stacey Abrams.
Yes!
Love it.
Mhm.
Stacey Abrams writes romance novels, by the way, in case you didn't know.
All of our love to Stacey Abrams, absolute
Yes.
queen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live in Georgia, vote in the runoff for the right side. Not the right,
Whoa!
like the left, but like the
Correct.
the correct side.
The correct side.
Thank you.
What would Cecil be?
Oh, right.
Mhm.
I run a...
You're on this podcast too, you know.
Yeah, but I've been running an interview Twitch stream for a year, so I'm not used
yeah.
to answering the questions when I'm the one asking them. Shit, what was the question?
What would you be when you grow up?
Okay, I feel like Cecil would probably be in this phase where they're like, "Ooh, maybe I'll be a paleontologist, or like write for National Geographic, or who am I kidding? I'm probably gonna end up working at the corner store. I don't know."
Aww.
Cecil is totally like the next David Attenborough, just like up and coming.
Not with that voice.
Especially with that voice.
They're 15 years old.
Cecil could be a geologist.
Yeah, geology rocks.
That would rock! Did you just say that would rock?
Something like that. Don't worry about it.
I think as a character, as Cecil grows and develops, you'll be better able to answer this question.
Cecil.
All right, so from Caitlin, what is the most surprising thing that you have learned about your character or an NPC that you didn't plan on?
Hudson is less of a womanizer than I thought he would be. Like the original incarnation of the character was going to be like much more like your standard jock type. It's even in his like introduction video and everything, but it's just like there are not as many opportunities for it because like, you know, plot is happening and Hudson's not going to just run off to like hit on chicks, I guess. But you know, I thought he would be a lot more like, I don't want to say sleazy, but just, you know, a lot more of a chaser, and he's just not.
Note to self, write more NPCs to flirt with Hudson. Check.
of just like happy to go along with whatever's happening and doesn't seem to be doing a lot of pursuit at all of anything. He's just not that kind of guy. That was it if anyone else wants to answer the question.
What about you, Wren?
I don't know that I've really surprised myself with anything with Cecil yet, I think.
Wait, was the question surprised by others' characters or your own characters?
Surprising thing that you've learned about your character that you didn't plan on.
But there was also this thing about NPCs, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Steffi.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes...
that took me a while too. Okay.
We're pretty.
Yeah, very. I think I can take this. Hold on. This has happened quite a bit. I'm just trying to remember the characters that have actually been released. I was surprised. Well, this goes back to the players. Like, I learn more about the NPCs when the players take an interest in them, because the ones that they don't take an interest in are not going to appear as much unless they're like plot relevant or whatever. And the ones that they do like, you know, Kenneth, Elmer, even Grange, show up a bit more. Like, no one in the podcast as a character likes Grange, but I think everyone is amused when Grange shows up to a degree. So, like, I was surprised by, surprised by Claire, because Claire was not planned. Honora was in Nuance's history, or Suri's history, but Claire was not. Claire's just very bored. I was also surprised by the reaction to Gel a bit. And like Gel has been consistent both between this game and last time's, which is the first time I ran the game. But like, she's just a lot more out there now, because she was before, but now she's just fucking in the woods. People are having trouble with this question, huh?
No, I actually just thought of something, and I can't really elaborate too much on it, but I do think that I did not intend for Cecil to be, as in some cases, reactionary and angry as sometimes Cecil appears. It does happen in the space of what you've seen. Like slapping Jenny. No, I don't slap Jenny. Who did I slap?
You slap Penny.
I slapped Penny.
Penny.
Certainly didn't slap Jenny. That would be horrible. Yeah. That was me letting some of me bleed in. Whoops.
But it felt so real.
It felt very Cecil. Yeah, don't play that down. That felt very Cecil.
Well, yeah, but I think the question is like learning about your character that you didn't plan on.
Oh, that's true.
Plan for Cecil to be that way. It just made sense in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We can scooch on if nobody else has something to say on this one.
I know you have an answer.
Definitely surprised by a number of things about Ollie. So, like, initially I designed Ollie wasn't really supposed to be a romantic lead kind of thing. Like, that was not in my plan for Ollie, like, at all. So, that was a surprise to me. And Ollie is just, like, constantly surprises me with how brave he is. Like, he does really, really, really silly stuff because of his bravery. But there are times where I'm like, no, don't do that. That's not mechanically a very good option. And you're a better player than this, and you know not to do that thing. And Ollie's like, no, we're doing this. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Jump off the cliff!
I'm going to jump off a cliff. Like, I know as a player this is a terrible idea, but Ollie's like, nope, don't worry about it. This is what we're doing. And I'm like, okay, you are in charge. Nuance.
Suri is a lot, I guess more troubled might be a good way to put it. She even more than her iteration in last times, like she's not just soft and sad and vulnerable. There is a hard edge to her that comes out sometimes too. Like in the beginning when she was kind of like at least participating in the making fun of Hudson before she realized, oh wait, no, that's not nice. And it wasn't necessarily that she stopped doing it because it wasn't, she thought it was wrong, but more she meta thought it was wrong. I know that this is not what a good person does, so I am not going to do it, as opposed to just having that whole, oh, this is wrong, I will not do it. She has a whole lot of bullshit in her head from her parents and her family, and it comes out in small and kind of surprising ways, and there's kind of a hardness to her that I was not expecting. And yeah, she can be an asshole. That's all I have. It's not profound.
Nice. So before we go on to the next set of questions, which are questions that I made every one of us pick a question to ask each other, I do have a question from chat, which is from Avalon. I'm so intrigued by the questions that led to the mantle selections. Was there a web of possible options, or did the GM have the results already in mind? Are there lost mantles that weren't selected?
So yes and yes. There was a sort of like web that led to one item versus another, and yes, there are items that they did not get. I had an idea of what people would end up with because I had a feel for the characters, but I had and basically everyone ended up with those items, to be honest. So like I wrote it out so that they could have access to 3 or 4, and then the questions led them to one or the other. It was very cool, just to see where everyone went, and it was cool to know that they went the ways that I thought they might. But like there were a lot of items that also were open up for the potential from others too, and there are artifacts that are written out that they did not receive. So we'll see how that goes.
We are developing our what mantle would you get BuzzFeed style quiz. Chris Feed style quiz. Coming soon on a
so
Patreon.
You can find out what mantle you'd have.
What mantles would all of you have in
Earth.
real life?
Earth. I would get the same thing Cecil got.
Oh no. I have no idea.
Yeah, especially since there are the mantles that we don't know necessarily all of what they we have like some of their names, but we don't necessarily know what they are, what they really entail.
Hold on, we got fire, water,
secrets, water,
War.
light,
light,
fire, water, secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, we're listening to the ones we don't.
The ones
have
that
yet.
we don't have.
I see. I'm listening.
I will say that this is what they think they are.
Yes,
It's what they've built up the assumption from what was said during the box part and stuff like that. But I'm not telling them anything. I know, like, if that's a list, though, I'd get light. Like, let's be honest. I'd be light.
Despite my screen name, I wouldn't have fire. I'm actually kind of afraid of fire.
Nuance would have water.
See, and I was thinking possibly order. I mean, I'll take water.
I think you'd be water.
I don't know the questions in the Chris feed.
Okay,
test, so.
we're working on it. We're working on it. It'll come out. Next question.
I always make Caro start campfires for me, so maybe Caro's fire. I don't know.
I like fire.
All right, so
I think Elise would have secrets.
nah.
Elise is very good at keeping secrets.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a monster mantle?
Secrets.
Wow,
probably.
that's an idea there is now. Anyway, keep going.
All right. So this is one of our questions from our. Bleh. All right, I'm doing okay. Caro wrote a question. Caro would like to know, how would your character rank in order of importance to them? Family, friends, faith, fitness, and finance.
Left out enough there, which was a comment someone else said. Anyway.
All right, hold on. I'm going to write them in the chat so our chat folks can keep track of them and not because I have trouble remembering things. So it's family, friends,
faith,
fitness, finance. Okay. Cecil. Family. Cecil now? Cecil at the end of episode 9. Family, finance, friends, fitness, faith.
What about Hudson?
Hudson would be family, friends, fitness, finance, faith.
Surrey would be faith, friends, finance in that way of I've never had to think about money really, but if I lacked it, I would be very aware of it. Fitness, and then family, and then all of the guilt that family isn't higher.
I think Ollie would be friends, finance, faith. Though he hasn't explored that much, I'm looking forward to seeing where we could go with that. Fitness, family. No shame involved.
I do like that Cecil and Hudson both have family first, and Surrey and Ollie both have family last.
Mm-hmm.
If we're thinking of other F words, I think for Hudson, it's interchangeable with fitness. It's the same.
Well, we
Same
have
word.
we talked about this on our last live stream.
Live stream.
Live stream where we had the sort of parallels. So you've got the two kids of like a lower financial class, and then we've also got, half of us don't get along with our families, and then half of us like academics, like they're like we're always split in half, but in different ways on different important axes.
So cool.
All right, so from Elise, what elemental type of Pokemon is your character? And why don't we pick a couple NPCs for Sephi to answer on this one? Grange.
Oh God.
And Typhoesia.
Toxicity. Grange is toxicity. What, like?
Grange is poison.
Poison type?
Poison
type.
electric.
Cool.
Electric.
What about Typhoesia?
Fairy.
Probably, right?
Definitely a fairy type.
It's a fairy type, if nothing else.
Fairy.
Either a very horny Gardevoir, or... See, this is hard, because I want to say Alolan Vulpix, but Alolan Vulpix is also mine. I relate to Typhoesia a lot, so Alolan Vulpix. I'm not a Vulpix, Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales.
Fairy ice type.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that. Fairy ice.
Mhm.
That works really well for Typhoesia. What about Sari?
I feel like Surrey's elements change through evolution. Like, I feel like she... Yeah.
Pokemon.
I feel like, so she probably starts like grass poison, and then eventually ends up becoming either grass fighting or poison fighting. It really is going to depend on whether she starts leaning harder into the healing cleric or the like murder cleric.
See, until you said the fighting stuff, I was like Blossom. Because Oddish is poison grass, and then Blossom's pure grass type in the final evolution.
But she always starts poison. But I also think that her transformed self throws dark into the mix and is probably like dark poison.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is there a dark poison type? There might be in the new. I'm behind.
I don't know all of
see.
the Pokemon, which is
I don't
why
know
I
the
picked
Pokemon.
type and not
Yeah.
Pokemon, because I don't feel like learning more than 151 Pokemon for any particular reason. Hudson is definitely fighting type, primary, and then probably fire secondary, if anything.
Okay, you all have
There's
to
a
help me.
Scorpion, Drapion.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Cecil's easy. Dragon Rock.
There's a dragon type?
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. I'll take it. I was gonna say, is there just like dirt and normal?
There is
There is, in
ground,
fact, a
there
normal
is
type.
rock, there is dragon.
I think Tyranitar is Dragon Rock. Don't quote me on that though.
So again, I feel like
Maybe it's just pure
Cecil
dragon.
starts ground rock, which is pretty common, but then through evolution they become rock dragon.
There's also steel as well.
There is also steel.
I think Ollie's just psychic type.
Just pure
Ooh.
psychic.
Yeah, probably. All that illusion magic, you know.
Although
Yeah.
there a lot of like the thieving Pokemon also have dark.
Or poison. Yeah, I would say.
He doesn't do any like poison attack. Like maybe I could
No,
see, like,
no, I meant
fighting?
thematically. Like a lot of the roguish type Pokemon fall under the darker poison types.
I
I
can see-
like psychic for him, and I could see a fighting maybe, but I like just straight psychic. Just
I think it
keep
fits.
keep it simple.
You
Maybe
mean
he's a
probably
Glade.
bisexual psychic.
Bisexual psychic.
Glade would fit with Ollie, I think. Glade is fighting.
I don't
psychic.
know what that is.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I run a
look it up
Pokemon
later,
game
but
and I don't know what all these are.
All right, so this question is from Nuance. If asked right now, or at least before Nanganad and everything else, what would be your character's perfect personal future look like? Okay, I did a complete like copy paste on that. What would their perfect personal future look like? Not changing the world or anything, just what would their own lives look like?
Tattoo artist has his own place. That's it. Done.
Well, Hudson would obviously be very famous for being the best wrestler of all time. He would have many awards. He would go on to do many speeches at schools to tell little children that they could also become the best wrestler, ignoring the fact that there cannot be more than one best wrestler. He thinks everybody can. He probably doesn't think about like things, because I don't think that would occur to him. Just he would probably live in a place with his mom forever. As long as she's somewhere nearby.
I mean, if you had Typhoesia for a mom, who would?
Right?
Hudson's a
Typhesia's
mama's boy.
great.
He loves his mama.
Cecil. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were not done. Sorry.
No, that's it. It's just him and his mom and Dougie, who will never die. None of them will ever die.
That sounds real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Nobody
kill your
tell him.
parents.
One of them might already be dead. I don't know.
I love you, Sephi.
I love you too, Caro.
Bill.
I'm gonna kill all your love interests because I know you don't like family.
Bill!
Oh my god, Bill is great.
Cecil?
Cecil wants a nice, cozy house that has like at least one side of it that's all glass, so that the place gets really nice and warm. That's like up on a cliff. And what's our world's equivalent to like DVDs? We have like
Chris Ray.
CDs.
Chris Ray.
I just throw Chris in everything now. Why not?
Cecil
Why
wants
not?
like the entire Space Voyage, Deep Star 7, Chris Ray collection, and a good like projector TV.
Cool.
And then maybe, you know, like access to a spaceship. Just, you know, simple.
No, just casual
Simple.
spaceship.
Right,
simple
right,
stuff.
yeah. Big glass house, a lot of DVDs.
So what I'm saying
spaceship.
is, so what I'm seeing is you want Fast Times in Space.
Yes.
Space Voyage, Fast Times 7.
And Cecil wants friends that are close enough that they'll come over and play board games, but not so close that they'll always be in their business.
Can Suri come and just take naps in the sunroom next to Cecil on a rock?
Well, yes, absolutely. But you asked this question as like before Neg and Ned and everything else, so this is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, so from Neg and Ned, Nan, I feel like everything is in such chaos that they probably don't really have an idea of what future looks like right now. I mean, Cecil's like, I hope my future is just happens.
That sounds like Ollie's constant state of being.
Yep.
Suri wants community more than I think pretty much anything else. I think she dreams of a day. Absolutely perfect would be her family would be like, oh, you know, we were real jerks and we're sorry about that and we're going to be better. But she understands that that's not going to happen. But so she just wants like a warm, cozy cottage somewhere near water from Oahu with friends and something always cooking and smelling good, where she's allowed to be creative and happy and without anybody telling her she's wrong for it. And she wants a variety of different kind of love, friends, family, relationships. She just wants to feel loved and be able to give love without feeling like it's harshly returned, like shoved away.
Okay, that leads us pretty nicely into my question, which I wrote in honor of somebody who will understand when they hear it. If your character was in a Disney movie, which I want song best fits the beginning of their story? You know what an I want song is, I assume.
Yeah.
It's like the...
We pieced it together.
Okay.
Mine is so obvious.
One jump ahead of the...
Yeah! Exactly. But the reprise where it's like, Rip Raff, Street Rat, I don't buy that. If
only they'd look closer, would they see a poor boy? Also, yes.
I mean, yeah, technically,
That's
factually
that
true.
one's easy. Easy answer for Ollie. What about Hudson?
Well, I want it to be the opening song from The Emperor's New Groove, but that's not much of a want song, so much as it is an I have song.
I think Hudson's gonna be Kronk's sung song from The Emperor's New Groove.
I think we ended up choosing the I Can Go the Distance from Hercules.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
You know, it's tough because like Hudson's in a place right now where he thinks he has gone the distance and is continuing to go to the distance. But you know, it's the next best thing.
Cute.
Suri's, and I actually had this already on Suri's extended playlist because I keep adding things to it, is Waiting in the Wings from Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Darkest, I suggested that, but then we listened to it and we're like, oh right, this is probably the most depressing thing ever.
I mean, it's true, but...
It is true.
It's true.
Where is Proud of Your Boy from?
It's
from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Really?
They cut it because they were like, this is
Cut
a
it.
tone shift.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I've
a little
never heard
heavy.
it.
It's a little heavy
I've
for
heard it.
the rest of Aladdin.
But it's got
that,
animatics and everything.
Trying to
It
make
gets
your parents
dark
proud of you.
for a Disney song.
I mean, Hunchback of Notre Dame exists. Does it get that dark?
No. It's nowhere near Hunchback level.
It's dark in a different way.
Yeah.
I don't think you could really compare the two.
I don't know that it's like genocide, looking into a fire levels of dark, but you know.
Fire, dark
It's not
fire.
a
That's
salty.
the horniest
dark.
fucking white man song I've ever fucking heard.
Mhm.
I'm desperate to sing it in my actual tone.
Oh my god.
Hey, Wren, you didn't answer the question
That's
yet.
because I can't think of an answer. I've been
You
thinking
asked
about
this
this
question.
all
You are
day.
Kid.
I've been thinking about it all day. I thought
But,
maybe I
Reflections?
well,
Reflections? Yeah.
Reflection
Okay.
if pronoun flipped.
Yes, I ultimately settled on saying I probably would say that if people didn't think it was just too fucking cheesy.
No, it's so cute.
It's one of the best songs in
Wait,
Disney, period.
Mhm.
Is the Disney question not supposed to be cheesy?
Yeah, because we all kind of leaned way in.
Okay, fine. Then yes, reflection.
Yay! I love it.
Accurate.
All right. We are at our last question since I don't have any more chat questions.
If you have more questions in the chat, you can ask them.
But this question I figure will probably take some time. Because it is, we talked last live stream about why each other's characters were awesome. Why are we awesome?
Do not answer for me. We did this for me already. You're all done?
No, you have to answer this question for
And
you.
I'm for that. Wait, no,
That-
what? No.
That's not our last question, though, is it?
Yeah.
What about my question?
Oh, we're gonna set.
Oh, I didn't put it in. Shoot. What's your question?
My question was, this is far off, but what do you want in the next campaign?
What do I want in the next campaign? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Do you not have enough of that now?
Mm-mm.
Ollie deals drugs, super into rock music.
Only one of us is having sex. And it's not Ollie.
Wow.
That's fair.
Yeah, but when was the last time Hudson had sex?
You don't know.
That's true, and I'm okay with that. Question is gone.
Right. Actually, let's not talk about the 16-year-old. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, okay. Moving right on.
So
don't know.
appropriately aged up.
Right. What would we want in the next campaign? What do you mean by next campaign?
Themes, content, anything.
Oh, I am super interested in exploring some of the backstory connections. Like, why are Hudson and Ollie brothers?
Oh, we're not talking about Fast Times U.
Oh,
We're talking about the next campaign that I run after Fast Times.
oh,
Oh yeah, y'all, Fast Times U is a thing that might happen. We don't know if they survive this campaign. Maybe it'll happen. It's been discussed.
Campaign 2, the party are a band.
like what would we want out of a different
Perfect.
campaign? That
Yes,
has,
another campaign that I run because there's going to be another one.
that has nothing to do with this
Yes.
Group?
New campaign. No,
Oh.
this group.
This group.
New campaign.
New characters.
I'm sorry, this is being so hard for me. Someone else answer, because I clearly am not.
I have an answer that I've been like
I know your answer.
but, yes, Seth, you know my answer, but there are other people.
I know. I just know that I'm about to get a ration of shit too.
Yes. So a while ago, as some of you may remember, Sephi was doing a whole bunch of Pokemon trainer cosplays for her own Pokemon world and her own Pokemon game, and it was amazing. So here we are on Thanksgiving, prepping for Thanksgiving, giving each other shit like there's no tomorrow.
About the story.
No, I can't. And we're talking about
This
the
is one of the only people with an answer, so we're just gonna let it happen.
right? I'm buying time for my friends. You're all welcome. And so Sephi, we're talking about all the different ideas that Sephi has, because she wouldn't be Sephi if she didn't have like 7 cooking at once. And I'm just like, what about Pokemon? And she's just like, what about it? I'm like, you could run Pokemon. She's like the games? And I'm like, Persephone, do you remember your whole fucking world with airships and siblings and knaves and the whole, and then she just gets this look of dawning comprehension as she remembers this thing that ate her life for like 6 fucking months.
No, it was actually only 2 months. It's only 2 months that I did all of that.
Time is fake in COVID. It's fine.
It's true.
I'm
So
mistaken COVID, that's true.
yeah. Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Oh my god, I
But,
have an answer!
And prom
Road
is a good
trip!
question.
Road trip campaign!
Ooh, that's good too.
That would be so fun, because we
Is
could
it-
also travel around to other countries and see all the different like world events and stuff. That'd be sick.
And it'll still fit with Sephi's Final Fantasy thing, because there's like that boy band
yeah.
road trip Final Fantasy, right?
That's
I mean, it's
Yeah, I do pull a lot from Final Fantasy. It's because I'm so disappointed in the series. Anyway,
Sorry, we'll have to try a new recipe.
maybe that's a good thing we should do before Fast Times U, if that happens, actually.
because she's the girl one.
That'd
and
be
she's the one that
so
does all the
fun.
cooking.
I
On a
have
road
other qualities, not just girl.
Yeah.
We did
That's
get an
probably
excellent question in the chat from.
Oh, apparently
Sorry.
there's a podcast about Kanto in the 1920s.
Sorry.
Similar, but I guess different. I don't think I would run it as a Pokemon game. I would just use PCs.
Look at the one above it, though. It's even
Sorry.
better.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay.
I'm having a
And
problem.
PCs.
How does the magic girl transformation work mechanically? I'm gonna mute for a second.
You're not
You okay?
muted.
We're not muted, but
Oh.
Oh.
This is like the opposite of last time where you were muted for us, but not the stream.
We know how the technology works.
We're
So,
very pretty. We're a
when
pretty
you ask
podcast.
mechanically means like how do the transformations function in battle, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Oh god. I'm gonna need you to answer this because I don't remember. I wrote so many drafts of these items. I think you can transform at will outside of combat, but I think doing it inside of combat takes a minute.
I thought it was
It's an
an
action.
action.
Yeah, that. Hi.
Yes. And
Yeah.
everyone's different powers have different effects. Some of them are just reactions. Some of them are just like persistent things that exist. Like for example, like Ollie has like an aura where anyone within 10 feet of him gets a +2 bonus to their saving throws. Everyone has different things, and like Sephi went through and balanced them out, and they all have different thematically like support. But it's really similar to how you might craft items in a D&D system. So if you like, actually, I think that Sephi was planning on releasing some of the item crafting so that people could see the thoughts that went into it and see like how the mechanics are working.
I'll also probably release the alchemy system that the players still haven't used to this day.
Not mentioned yet. Spoiler.
What? What? Shit! Fuck! Ah! I'm sorry! There's no alchemy system. I didn't say anything. Fuck.
I'd like to point out we are now at 2 for 2 live streams where Sephi spoiled something first.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Does it matter if you haven't used it? Whatever. Anyway.
We're not saying we're keeping track, but these are recorded, so.
I love how I was the one that made the rules about spoilers too. Motherfucker. Of course that's the way.
Always is. Always is.
Okay, so I would compare the artifacts more to like a combination of a crafted item and a subclass, honestly.
Yeah.
Like some of them are heavily inspired by other classes, some of them are completely custom, some of them are, you know, a combo. Like I would liken Ollie's to like a sort of hybrid between Paladin and Bard in a few different ways. And what?
How dare you? How dare you?
How very dare
Fucking
I?
narc.
No
And
one's
then
just called me a narc because I have paladin now.
Are you a narc now?
you're a
Wow.
narc now. You're at least part narc now. Anyway, Suri's
You're
is
1/8 narc.
Suri's is heavily based on Wild Magic Sorcerer and a few other things that I threw in there. And then I think so Cecil's is probably the most custom because I actually based it more on like Celeste from Final Fantasy 6 and a few other Final Fantasy things and made the Chris Knight stuff. There's some influence from Monk in there too with point systems. And Hudson's is a combination of fighter and a few custom things. And Bard, I guess I would say.
Fighter Barbarian though, sick combo.
Mm-hmm.
Really sick.
But every one of you can talk about your abilities if you want.
But we haven't really seen most of them in play yet as of episode 9.
Oh, I guess that's true. Damn.
You'll figure it out. Foig!
Yeah.
Season 2 starts
But
in
it's so
January.
cool because Sephi custom crafted all these things in order to like amplify our characters and help us along our journey. And she put so much thought into what we would want and what was thematically going to work for the character. And it's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's just super fun. Like having these powers, like it's like instantaneously like gaining a level, and you're just like, and then the powers are going to be growing along with our characters as we discover more about ourselves and about what we're doing. And it's just so cool. It's really, really awesome.
Stay tuned. Find out more.
Yeah, because the world is so, like, the types of magic that we all start with, if we started with magic, is mundane, normal. Like, this is just the way the world works. And so the items and the stuff that we can do with the items really sort of elevates and makes it so that there are types of magic and stuff that are still special in this world where magic is normal. So that's pretty cool.
This is only a portion of that too, honestly. So I believe there was a question in chat that was just prom.
I believe that was Avalon just belching the word prom was the wording she used.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I can't burp on command anymore. Oh no, I've gotten too far in my transition. Oh no. Blow. Nope, can't do it anymore.
So close. So close, though.
So close. I tried.
I can taste it in my mouth.
So we're in the school year right now in game. We're in September still. When is prom? That's
May.
spring, right?
Yeah.
Spring.
And we're sophomores, so we don't actually get to go to prom unless we end up going with an upperclassman.
Are we all
Or
sophomores?
you crash it.
You could go to a homecoming dance.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hudson was a junior because Hudson was older.
No.
No,
Probably
no,
had to
Hudson's in our year.
stay behind also. School's not his forte. Put it that way. He tries so hard though.
So yeah,
Pay
we
for
could
effort.
crash. We could crash prom.
You'll have to see if that's going to happen or not.
Maybe there will be some kind of dance that we can attend.
I'm not
Maybe.
saying that I have, but I might have picked out a prom outfit for Hudson already. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not
totally up
saying
in
that
there.
a dance will happen or not, but it is a high school game.
there may be a Pinterest board devoted solely to Hudson's.
Are you
potential
serious? You need to
prom
share that
outfit.
with us. Share that
You
with
know?
the world, actually.
If I made it, maybe I would share it, but I haven't made it already, so.
Yeah, no, that's
We
super
totally
real.
believe you.
I don't have the link, everybody, so I most certainly won't be sharing it later.
Shared it. Oh my god. Okay.
I mean,
cool.
I follow
be
you
emotional.
on Pinsta. Wait, I almost called it
Instagram? Oh no, that'll be the next thing that Facebook does.
Follow me on the
Oh my
tweeters.
gosh.
the thing. Never mind. Forget me. I'm
Chris
over
just-
here.
Tweet book.
Why am I in charge of the social media? I don't know
Did
what
we
I'm
really
talking
miss the
about.
opportunity to call Twitter in our world critter?
Oh, I
Have
don't
we
know what
named
call
Twitter
it.
anything
I don't
yet?
think.
Have we?
Oh no.
we've
I
Can we
feel
use
like-
that, or is that too related to Critical Role?
I
I
don't.
don't think anyone's on Twitter in the podcast yet.
Oh, maybe we'll see.
In game, I mean, it has not come up. Christagram has a bunch, but
Mhm.
Well, see, that's
They
that's,
are basically Gen Z. Like, let's.
That's
be
the
real.
thing. We're kids. Critter is where the old people hang out.
No, Chris Book is where the old people go to hang out.
We have
real
we
defensive
have
real
Chris
quick there.
Talk and
have Chris Talk.
Christagram. Cecil's not on Christagram because they couldn't get a name. Surrey's not on Christagram at all under any aliases ever.
Ollie has a Christagram, and I made an Instagram account, a secret Instagram account that has Ollie's stuff. And if you can find it, you win.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Hudson is probably like 5% away from being a Christagram influencer with all of his workout videos and selfies.
Yeah,
Okay,
actually, like, do you have a D20? I'll have you roll for how many followers Hudson has.
Ollie
I don't have it.
tattoos.
I'll have you roll it later. So I will say, I was gonna say so. Oh, we are going to be working on releasing some sounds to TikTok from the podcast at some point. Specifically, I really want a World of Gender Affirmation from Nuance on there, really, really badly. Not for my own, just my own usage, even though that's a big reason.
I mean,
Now I'm looking at Instagram trying to find Ollie's Instagram.
that's fine. I'm scrolling up to where. Oh, wait, no, that's.
Oh, I like it. Darkest Argentum says thought for Twitter. Chirp.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
cute.
I like that. We're stealing that. Thank you, Darkest Argentum. Darkest
Do-
Silver. That's cool.
Do we have more questions? Or...
Yes, we have the why are we awesome? Which I believe the intent of the question was for us to say nice things about ourselves.
Yeah, Nuance, you didn't answer this last time.
No, I wrote that question, and that was for us to talk about how great everybody else was.
No, but we did that in the last live stream.
We
We did that for our characters.
I think we should have Nuance describe why she's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you all suck and should bite
Hey,
me.
not since COVID started. I'm basically a virgin now. Anyway, start talking about why you're great.
Because I haven't murdered a single person on this goddamn podcast.
And I
yet.
live with you, so that is a feat. But talk about more.
I mean, you're upstairs, so that does put a damper on things.
Sometimes I come down. Sometimes I'm within hand's reach, and I just move your scooter away so you can't reach me.
Again, I haven't murdered a single person on this podcast, and I should really get props for this.
You really should.
Would you rather us continue to spout
No,
accolades in
no.
your direction?
All right,
or
I
would
have
you- Okay.
all horrible people.
Those
Okay.
are your options, Nuance. Say nice things about yourself, or we will.
I am, I think, a very good role player. I think that, especially when it comes to portraying vulnerability, and weakness, it is actually, but within inner strength, I think I bring that to the table very well. And I was talking to somebody today on DMs, and she said that I listen. I pay attention. I pay attention, and I try. I think that if somebody is worth talking to, then they're worth listening to, and that if I'm going to call somebody my friend, then I'm going to do whatever I can to pay attention to the things that they like, the things that they don't like, the things that, hit them, how they're doing, everything like that, because I think one of the points of friendship is making everyone's world a little bit brighter for being in that, for being in their life. And that is what I try to bring to all of my friendships, is just that care and concern, or I look at you and I say, you are my friend and I care about you because you are worth caring about. And hopefully, regardless of how you feel about yourself in that moment, you believe it.
How about
Well
your
done.
fashion
Can confirm,
choices?
all true.
And what? Sorry, Wren, I think you were saying something?
I was saying, how about your taste in fashion?
I have some.
I was trying to defeat.
You also have great hair and great tits and a bigger butt than mine. We hate you. Anyway.
And you have a really cool, like, sparkly moon, glimmery fashion thing going on. which
I
is
got this
pretty
whole.
cool.
I also have my snake earrings, and my little moon necklace. I was gonna wear my Surrey things, but I play with them too much, so it's hard when I'm recording or doing things. All right, moving quickly on. Wren, why are you great? You're great. Talk. Yeah. How you like this?
That was a noise. I'm getting better at doing different accents. I used to be able to only do one, and that was shitty American tries to do a shitty British accent. And I think I'm getting better.
I think you're great at it.
Yeah, same here.
You're an incredible voice actor.
Definitely. Are you kidding me? Cecil's, like, you can tell so much just from Cecil's, like, little intonations that don't have words. Like, are you kidding me? Do you know how hard that is to do? See, you just did
That's me!
it!
I often have okay hair when I try. I am sometimes kind of funny.
You are
Mm-hmm.
like legit funny.
Yeah.
Actually, very funny. A lot.
You're also the only person on this podcast with organizational skills.
That is not true.
It's not true.
Caro.
Caro
Okay, right, Caro.
kicks
Caro
my
exists.
ass all the
Okay,
time.
you're the only person on this podcast that is doing lots of organizational tasks constantly for the podcast.
That
for
is
the
true.
podcast.
I'm ready to go with compliments if
Yeah, I'm raring to go.
I had 3.
You are very good at
You
organization.
qualified them, damn it.
really did.
I feel like the things that
Fuck
people
this.
are.
You're funny, you're handsome, you're talented at voice acting, you do about 1,000 different things between make-believe and here, you're a social media wizard, you're good at cosplay, let's see,
Your howl
you
is
have fucking
amazing.
awesome hair. No one knows what your age is because you look like a 12-year-old, but not a 12-year-old, more like you're in your 20s.
That was so close to being a compliment.
I'm bad at giving
So
compliments.
close.
I'm trying.
One of the things that I really actually admire about
Can
you,
we
Wren,
up it to maybe like 16 or something?
20, 25.
you look pubescent. It's one of my favorite things
I'm
about
sorry, okay? I tried. I can't go that long without saying something mean.
you.
Like, look at me, I'm a bitch.
It's not mean. It's weird.
It's weird.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to be weird.
No, it's fine. I have a very round bunch of features.
Oh, don't insult it. I already made it bad enough.
No, but one of the things I really admire about you is, like, online, you are not afraid to be vulnerable. You're not afraid to admit when things are bothering you, when you feel like you should have been better in ways that you're not. You keep it very, very real. And it can be hard to be that, especially when you have a following and you feel like you have to perform for them and be this icon. And you're like, no, this is who I am, and you're going to get who I am. And that's very self-affirming and awesome, and I admire and respect you for it.
If people think I'm performing for them, they are following the wrong person. I mean,
Please, you're up.
Yeah.
Am I up to say nice things about Wren or
No.
Yes.
No.
I mean, you
what?
can transition. Oh, yeah. Oh, now who's protesting? Nope, you all get to do this.
Well, I want to say nice things about Wren because Wren is one of the
That's
most.
cheating. We lived together forever.
Yes, and you put up with me and my otter nonsense very patiently.
Underscore nonsense.
Otter underscore.
At
nonsense.
Elise on Twitter, at otter_nonsense.
She'll leave you on red.
I will leave you not on red because I don't check Twitter. But yes, you are fucking brilliant. Really brilliant. I think your ideas are just like, you amaze me all the time with the things that you come up with. And that's saying something because I live with this one. So yeah, I think you are really brilliant. I have never once had to worry about you being my friend, because if there's ever an issue, you either tell me or there's no fucking issue. And I don't feel like I have to perform for you either, you know? And that feels amazing to just be able to be yourself authentically and know that your person loves you no matter what, you know? Like, I don't have to be like all the time to feel like you still want to be my friend, you know? Like, you've seen me at whatever time in the morning or at night when I'm just like fat potatoing it around the house. Not entertaining.
Hug you.
I'm not entertaining. I'm not even like pretty at the moment, but you're just like, this
I
is
haven't hugged
my
you in like
honor.
10 months or 11 months, and this is some bullshit.
We'll get vaccinated and then we'll hug forever. And then you'll regret saying that out loud.
Elise gives really good hugs.
Okay, but enough about you, now about me.
Yes.
Wait, I didn't get to talk about Wren.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. Wren, my favorite thing about you is your heart. Like,
It's so tasty.
so I think that, like, you are harder to get to know than most of the other people on this podcast. Because you have higher walls. Because you have reasons to have those higher walls. But the thing that I have learned about people with really high walls is that it's because they've got a beautiful garden on the other side of that. And that is you. And I love you so much.
You're all bullshit.
Beautiful garden. Full of so much fun and interesting creative ideas.
And orange and yellow.
And warmth and love.
I'm
And
not wearing
birds.
any orange right now. It's shit. No
Aw.
orange.
Ass tears.
You're all jerks. I get all red and blotchy when I cry on stream.
That's why I'm wearing
We're
foundation.
good. We're good.
At least you don't cry. You don't have tears or human emotions.
Me neither.
I do.
That's a lie.
Okay.
I
who-
have
seen it.
Who else
Feel
needs
it.
to say nice
Seen it.
things?
Look at me, I'm sad
Now we get to talk about Elise.
Yes.
Yeah, Elise,
talk about
go
what
ahead.
you like about
Look at me
you.
expressing human emotion.
That is a bold-faced lie.
Elise's favorite thing about herself is how in touch with her emotions she is.
All
You
two
think
of
she
them.
is-
Oh yeah, totally. The Aquarius is totally in touch with her emotions. Okay.
Oh, I heard how in touch with her emotions she isn't.
Oh.
Listen, I have a full range of human emotions. There's hunger.
Are you looking at the palm of your hand?
No. Definitely not.
My spouse just brought me tissue.
I experience a range and variety of hunger. I get
There's specific hunger for cheese.
Elise,
That
you're not Caucasian.
comes
Why
in,
is
like-
that?
sometimes I'm starving. Sometimes I just have the munchies. Sometimes
it's
I'm not
like
hungry. I just
Parmesan.
want.
Do we need to
Sometimes
compliment
it's
Bomb
Havarti.
Elise now?
Sometimes I just want to destroy things with my teeth, so I have to eat something.
Sometimes it's spite hunger, where you have a thing to eat and someone else wants it, and you're just like, no, but it is mine.
If the
Buddha.
cat wants food that I am eating, I will eat the food and make direct eye contact with the cat. Just so she knows that
Who's
this
in
is
charge?
my food and she's not getting any.
Spite hunger.
I think you
Yeah.
should also like about yourself that you make a really hot gambit.
I do make a really hot gambit. I also make a very sexy Aizawa, or
Mhm.
Papazawa, as I like to say.
It's sexy everything.
I know.
So
I'm just
guys,
very
was
attractive.
Elise actually talking
Herself.
about the things she likes when my headphones fell off, or
No, she about to. She about to. Go on, Elise.
Go on, Elise.
Emotions.
We're waiting.
I
Compliment
can't actually
yourself.
talk about myself. I think that I am really funny, and this is like the first time in my life that I have been surrounded by other people who like to tell me how funny I am, and it's weird. Because usually I'm just saying funny things and waiting, and nobody thinks I'm funny except for me. So then I just laugh at all of my own jokes all the time. And then I find out you're not supposed to laugh at your own jokes, and I'm like, fuck you guys, no one else is going to, so I might as well. But yeah, I look really good in tube socks. Just- I'm great at not wearing pants.
Hey, same.
Really good at not wearing pants.
You're also really bad with emotions in your own mind, but you're also one of the most caring friends that any of us have.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
really good at holding space for people, and
Yes.
that is partially because I am not connected to my emotions. So if you just need to feel things in my vicinity, you can do that, and I will just sit there very patiently allowing you to do so.
Like categorizing, so this is what this human emotion looks like. Interesting,
Ah,
fascinating.
yes. I see you are sad. If you would like to be sad for the next 30 minutes, please feel free. I will sit here quietly while you are sad. And when you are done being sad, I will hug you and tell you everything is okay. It works! It works! People think I'm a human. I'm very good at it.
Got us all fooled.
Hmm?
You got us all fooled.
I know, right? I got this down.
Like, Nuance and I are both shaking our heads. Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about your roleplay.
Oh no.
And it's not.
I actually said nice things about myself.
It's not just about like your humor in your roleplay. It's about it's about the way that you just said you leave space, but you also leave space for people in your roleplay. You pay attention, and your timing and your comedic beats just land these perfect moments for other people to kind of like slide in and also have moments, and you're just paying a lot of attention. And it really, really was visible in the Hex and Ween episodes, where you helped everyone with the rules, and where you kind of like took like a little bit of a backseat with your character, you know, because Todd Noir was just like a very big character, but shadowy, and like pushed everyone else forward. It was really awesome to see.
He's very upset about his whole backstory, so he's not a man of many words. Very traumatic backstory.
You're a very conscientious role-playing partner, and doing what you do with Hudson, I don't think I would trust it with most other people, because most other people would be playing the Jock Barbarian and would be just chewing scenery and doing things that are super detrimental to all the rest of us. And you're just real good.
Thank you.
I think generosity of spirit is just a big Elise mood, regardless of whether it's in RP or it's in real life. Like, there have been times where I had to call you and just to be like, I am all up in my feels. Will you, like, help me? And it wasn't just leaving space. It was honestly like taking time to listen, to care, to talk to me about things. Like, you are what I strive to be with my friends.
And I also don't think that you're being completely honest when you say that your friendship and maintaining them is just about you keeping space, because you do seek out. Because I did live with you, and you noticed that I frequently would just hermit in my little attic room in a ball of depression, and you sought me out. You would come down to the bottom of the stairs and you would be like cheeping my name up at me. And that would sometimes get me up, like in a day where I was just a depression lump. Like, you didn't just make space for me, you actively took care of me a number of times.
I need you to feed me.
But you fed me like way more often than I fed you.
He's standing at the bottom of the stairs. Beep. Beep, beep.
Oh, that's Elise's chicken peep. Okay.
Elise has done a lot for me personally. You've held space for me many a times. You've fed me when I'm upset. Like,
I feed you when you're drunk. That's what I do.
that too. You do feed me when I'm drunk. Like, there have been times where I have been just over the top about upset about bullshit, and you've just listened to me. And like, you've also called me out and stuff, which is another thing that I need in all my friends, because I can get a little delusional sometimes. I don't know if any of you have noticed. And also in the podcast, you are just so fucking good at roleplay. It's just like, it's so much fun to be in a session with you. Just like, it's always a joy. You know?
I will have to take your word for it.
You're also one of the few people on the planet that I will do the makeup for when asked.
Aww.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, guys.
Caro, did you want to say anything nice about Elise, or are you just kind of like...
She's all right.
Seems real.
I think everybody knows that Elise and I are partners. Otherwise, the kissing and canoodling probably wouldn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, with our, like, we're all LARPers.
And married.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, obviously, I think Elise is absolutely fucking spectacular and the best person that I know. But I would like to talk about like the pre-relationship before Elise and I were partners.
Ooh, this is fun.
Elise and I were friends, and really, really good friends for like 9 years before this, before we ever started dating.
Lap dance story.
Oh my god, she gave me a lap dance. I
were dressed as a
I was a walrus.
Sexy walrus.
I had sexy legs,
You were a walrus, of course.
but
I was gonna
you know, the intention here wasn't to get a lap dance. And then Elise
Okay.
was dressed as a zombie or something. So she was wearing lingerie and then gave me a lap dance, and it was really upsetting because it was very, very hot.
I'm sorry, you were a walrus.
Clearly I was asking for it. So
Whoa!
Wow! Wow!
yikes.
Wow!
I'm really sorry. So Elise gave me a lap dance, and it was not okay. And so then I would like publicly decry like what a terrible person Elise was, so that like I was hoping that the message would get back to her, so that she would know how angry I was about this lap dance and how unfair it is to do this to people. You can't just like crawl up in a bisexual's lap and give them a lap dance. It's not okay.
I'm getting, so from the conversation, I am getting a more consent issue vibe than the actuality, which was you were just upset because Elise gave you a lap dance and was super hot and you found out she was straight.
See, Elise also that night gave me a lap dance, and I was very upset because Elise is like my baby sister.
Oh,
Very different
I did
types
not
of
have that
upset
feeling.
that we were having that
I
night.
did not have that experience.
I've yet to receive an Elise lap dance, but
Right?
I've received an Elise massage, so I'm good.
But so I have always so I've been running like different theater productions for a number of years now, and I always cast Elise last because I know that Elise can do anything that I give her. Anything. Like her range is like, she's seriously the best actor that I know. Like she has an incredible range. She can do like just things that are just so wildly different. Like you can't even tell. Like I have had people who've come to productions where Elise played one character and then they go to a different production and they're like, no idea that it's the same actor. No idea whatsoever, because she completely transforms and just has just incredible breadth and range. And I just feel so lucky to be able to work with you on like this project and all the projects that we get to do together. And you're the best person that I know.
Aw. Well, it helps having a lot of otters, you know? You need a different otter for a different job. I got one. Except there are no math otters.
Hey, Caro. Your turn.
Is it time to talk about things I like about myself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I know you can do this.
I like that I elevate other people's play. That like I notice when other people are going for, and I call it out, and I also create the space for them to do it. Even if it's not totally in line with what I'm going for, especially if it's not in line with what I'm going for, I will shift and move to adjust to that. And I think that I do that really well, and it's something that I am really proud of.
You are excellent at it.
Yes.
And not for nothing, you're good at it in real life with real people also. I think the way that you say it best is knowing what it is about a person that they are proud of and being able to see what they're proud of and what they like about themselves and point it out and just be like, hey, you're really good at this thing. And that makes them feel amazing to have you recognize what they are proud of and what they are working the hardest at in their own lives. You really elevate other people all the time. It brings them joy to be seen by somebody they really respect, you know? Also, you're super hot. Oh my god.
I was waiting for it. We all know.
Oh,
We all
God.
know. It's a fact.
These chest
Caro just came back from fencing, by the way. Like,
These chest tattoos.
Okay, don't break our terms of service. Just don't go any
there were no
lower with the
nipples.
shirt.
There were no female presenting
I
nipples.
know, but there was pulling down. I was just
Female presenting nipples.
That's for the after party.
That's for our OnlyFans. It's at www.onlyfans.com/no. That's onlyfans.com/no.
Going off of Elise and what she was saying about Caro, like, again, from our first interaction, I knew that I respected the hell out of you, because you took a at least semi difficult position to back me up, and that is one of those things. Like, even though I had no idea,
only thing to do.
and yet, how many people did it, Caro?
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's a right and wrong.
Sure,
But not everybody knows that, and you do.
you backed me up, and it was really important to me. I was definitely feeling like I didn't have backup, and this was something that I was really, really adamant about. And then out of nowhere, you came in and you're just like, no, Nuance is right. And furthermore, Nuance is the only one who really should have an opinion about this. Everybody take several seats, shut the fuck up, and listen. And I appreciated and respected the hell out of that. Like, I couldn't pick you out in a crowd if you paid me, but I knew somewhere that Caro Murphy was a great human. And that has only ever increased the more not only that I interacted with you, but the more I just heard of you and knew of you. And it's not in like a pedestal kind of way. You know, you're my friend, you're not my prince, but...
Well, Caro's the people's prince.
Well, yes, but still, like, it's... Caro elevates all of us emotionally, but I would like to think that we do our best to elevate them emotionally, but just emotionally, because you're so grounded. And I mean, as much as you can kind of like move the stars with your talents and your determination and your ability to just think about doing something and then doing it, it's amazing. It's like magic. You still, everything is so thoughtful and focused, and that's, you turn that same emotion onto us as your friends. And I appreciate our every interaction. I always come away either thinking about something or laughing about something or learning something, but at the same time always feeling like we're on the same level, like we're helping each other, and that's a really good feeling. So thank you, Caro, for being you. No, you.
I think that Caro has a rare quality of having a very high emotional intelligence score. I think that you are also saying that you are phenomenally skilled is, not enough to say. I won't say talented because, I know you worked at everything that you do. Like, for a lot of people that are like either just appearing in the LARP community or gaming community, it seems like, everything you touch is gold, but there's years and years and years of learning and absorbing and just working with people behind it. And
so much failure.
It's like you learn so much. You just absorb knowledge, and it's like, it's an impressive thing that I hope to someday mirror. You are definitely a big inspiration for me and the things that I do, and being able to go for the things that I do, because there was a lot of inner saboteur moments with everything that I do that are, for a lot of things, very much defeated now, in part because I had you as an inspiration. So yeah,
thank you.
I'm also glad that this fucking podcast gave me an excuse to talk to you more.
Same.
Because like Caro and I have been good friends for a while, but like, Caro's a busy person,
I don't know where to start that won't turn into an essay. So, because I've known Caro since, 2009?
Yeah.
I mean, Elise too, actually. Yeah.
We've been through some shit, friend.
You
Yeah.
two live together also.
Yes, which is a story, but which I won't tell here. I'm not great with words. That's not one of my pluses. There's so much that my brain is short-circuiting right now with like where to start. Okay. You're so fucking driven that you could have been a very intimidating person that I never like ever talked to, and I'm extremely glad that I did, because even though we've had a lot of ups and downs in our friendship, you've always been willing to not just sort of like knee-jerk reaction, like maybe sometimes we've had fights, like, and you've been willing to kind of work through stuff instead of just being like, okay, we had like one scuffle and bouncing, I'm never talking to you again. So there's just so many things. I'm losing track of everything. I'm sorry. You're so fucking patient, and you will just help somebody at a moment's notice.
Like me the other day.
You're just one of the best people I know, and I don't know how to put it into words.
It's funny because like several times you've mentioned like difficult moments in our friendship, but when I think about our friendship, I don't remember any of those times. Like
I
they
think
aren't what stands out to me.
I think it's in contrast to like difficult moments with other people, and they just bounce. Like I have a lot of abandonment complexes and people who just didn't stick with me, and you were one of the very few people in my adult life that like stuck with me.
You're worth it.
You also see that people are worth it too, and you give them love that you see that they deserve, and that can sometimes be hard,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody deserves to be loved,
and you have so much love and such a big heart to go around.
And so much of what you do, there's such an intentionality to what you do and how you approach things. And I don't mean that in like only mental kind of way, but rather than you were very emotional, but you still take time and stop and listen and think and try to see other people's points and mindful. That's I think the best word. You are incredibly mindful, and you take that mindfulness and give it to yourself and the world and your friends, and that's a big deal.
And once you tried to hold my hand on a river and pulled me into the water.
Oh,
That was fun.
that was really fun. Oh my gosh. Is it Sephi's turn?
It is.
And that's all the time that we
I don't think that's true.
Thank you so much for joining us for our live stream, for our season finale. I hope that you all I'm just kidding.
I was about to like erase the rest of that script so that you couldn't go on it and you had to be silent.
Oh, I don't even have it open. Shoot, I should probably open that again.
Before you open it, talk about yourself.
Oh, right. That's a thing.
Yeah, huh? Weird. So weird.
Okay, let's see. I like how driven I've become in the last year or so, maybe 2 years. Because I used to get in my head a lot and be scared of success. And also, for a while I wasn't on the right meds. So like the thought of success or that I could succeed on something was a lot. And now knowing that like I can put my mind to something, and regardless of whether it works out or not, I need to do it. I know I need to do it. I know I need to create. So having that has made a big improvement on the entirety of my life. I like that I, maybe not in the past, but now have gotten to the point where there is very little besides like my outrage at justice or injustices that makes me not open to new experiences and not open with my interactions with people. I feel like I've become kind of like, in a way, very genuine with folks, at least on online interactions and with the people in my life. Like, I think that there's besides the makeup, which is war paint for me, there's very much like what you see is what you get. I think now that took a lot of work to get there, and I think is one of the best parts about me. I also like my imagination. That's something that's been consistent. I like my imagination. I will say that. Yeah. Can I stop it?
Do you want to say something?
Yes. Okay, so doing what you have done, creating a vision for a podcast, putting together all of the pieces of everything that needs to be done in order to make it happen, coming up with all of the information and backstory and all the other game materials that you need to do, knowing all the rule system, like pulling together this group of people. Also, what you have done is nothing short of fucking miraculous. And the fact that this is one of the first like productions, like public productions that you're doing is like mind-blowing. Like, if this is the level you're at right now, I can't even imagine where you're gonna be in a year, in 5 years, in 20 years. Like, you are going to rule the world, and I am so proud to be here and to like witness this like fucking just like what is going to happen in your life. I'm so excited and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. You and Caro are two of the people that I can think of right off the top of my head where if either of you said, I'm going to do blank, it does not matter what you put in that blank, I believe that you will do it. You could be like, Elise, I want to become the first woman to walk on Mars. I'd be like, cool. That sounds great. Like,
it's like, you're probably gonna do it then, okay?
Text me when you get there. Like, just like, it doesn't matter what you tell me you're gonna do or what you want to do. I'm just like, yeah, sounds legit. I don't know. Like, I don't believe there's a single thing on this planet that you can't do.
Yeah.
You are just crazy smart. And when something is difficult for you, that is not an obstacle. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. It could be like, I don't know, making toast, or it could be learning how to build a rocket ship that goes to Mars. But if you want to do something, you just find a fucking way to do it. Like, you found out last minute for one of your projects that you could potentially do like some graphic arts PowerPoint presentation, and you taught yourself graphic design and photo editing in the span of 24 hours. Most people go to school for that. Like, that is the level of achievement that you have put yourself in, that you are capable of. And I think that's fucking brilliant.
And you also like work so hard at the things that you care about and that you want to do. Like, behind the scenes, you're constantly like developing new art forms, developing your skills, developing all of this stuff. And like all that stuff is the stuff that nobody sees, right? And then you just present like this finished product to the world, and everyone's minds are fucking blown, but like they don't see all the hard work that goes into it, and you work your ass off constantly.
Yeah. So text me when you get to Mars, just so that I know you got there safely. I don't have to stay up late wondering if you're all right. It's my only request.
Y'all are gonna smear my makeup. I'm not human. I don't have tears.
Oh no.
It's the end of the night. I am losing steam. I said, there's a lot of invisible effort that goes into projects like this, and you all see, you know, the finished thing, us playing a game, but you don't see the intense amount of effort that Sephi puts into, I want to say the back end, but I know that I'm going to get shit for it.
I put a lot of effort into my back end.
In addition to so this is like a little fun fact that you all probably don't know. In addition to selecting the music that goes into the final episode, Sephi also selects music that she plays for us while we're playing, so that we're all in the right mood while we're playing. And that starts like days before the selection process of that. Let's see. I mean, the drive to even get this project off the ground with the actually asking people if they want to play in a game is fucking hard. I have to do it sometimes to get people onto my streams, and it's like going out there and putting yourself out there and asking people if they'll be in a thing. It's really fucking hard. Try it sometime. It's harder than it looks. Especially because this thing came out of Wrath, our home game, which was something that Sephi just fucking dreamed up this entire goddamn world, which is incredibly, like, lush, and I really wish people could see that. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
But Sephi just plucked all of us that are in Wrath, like, out of the ether, messaged us on Facebook, and was like, hey, out on a limb here, but you want to play D&D? And that's hard to put yourself out there like that. So.
Also, you have impeccable taste.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we are pretty cool.
Yeah, y'all are pretty cool.
Picking the right people for a collaboration is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah, I couldn't have made this without any of you.
Yeah. People think you just pick people you like working with, and that is not true. That is super not true. You have to pick people that you are good at working with and can work with other people also.
I can see Nuance eagerly awaiting her turn.
Oh,
I'm
no.
being
gonna get
patient.
There's gonna be compliments and then there's gonna be reads. I know it.
I also feel like there's
I know.
there's elements of effort that most of us probably can't even understand, because like just in, you know, making a podcast is a lot of work, even if you don't understand all the work that's there. But Sephi putting herself out there on Twitter and getting to the place that she is on Twitter now in the span of a year and change is fucking incredible, but also makes you very vulnerable. Like, incredibly vulnerable. And it takes a huge amount of strength to exist on the internet in the way that Sephi is right now.
Absolutely.
Especially
I'll
while
let
being
Nuance
open about, you know, your identity and who you are. There are any number of things that would draw haters by themselves, and yet you unabashedly say, no, this is who I am. These are parts of me that I'm proud of, and there's no way you can make me feel ashamed of them. And I will stand here strong and proud and beautiful in them and say that, no, you're wrong. And I'm going to continue to be here even after you're gone. And it's inspiring. And I'm going to take my turn now. I've been waiting.
That wasn't your turn.
No.
Oh, girl, sit down.
No, that was adding better words to mine, because I think Nuance has recognized that I have lost tonight.
It's after 10 o'clock, so we're all gonna.
I am a pumpkin.
Oh, that's right. It's past Elise's bedtime.
You're still not getting out of this. You're gonna wait.
Okay,
This is gonna be
fine.
on.
Fine.
So I'm the newest person to the whole friend group. Even my friendship with Sephi is only about 4 or 5 years old,
Mhm.
and I've known Sephi the longest. And the thing that fucking floors me is how much you have changed and grown and blossomed as a person in that 5-year span. Like, you, looking back, especially now, I can see kind of how closed off and trying to protect yourself and your vulnerability that you were, and now how you are just so much more open and generous and willing to have emotions and willing to trust us with these emotions. You are beautiful, and I don't just mean like your face and hair and your clothes, although yes, absolutely, but just you are a fucking shining star in the sky, and you warm other people just by being there. I know, like, I'm lucky enough to have that happen on a weekly basis. You are so much more giving and understanding and willing to sit down and listen when I need to talk to you about things. And you're willing to still stand up and say, I hear what you're saying and you're right on these points, but this thing here, I'm going to stand up for. And I watch you, like, we're talking about the drive in your podcast, but like all of the things that you do where you stand up for justice, where you push back, where you're willing to put yourself out there, sometimes by yourself, just the sheer bravery that it takes to do that every day. And you inspire, like, you've inspired me to stand up and I've watched you and I'm like, I can't possibly leave Sephi alone to deal with that. So then I stand up next to you. And standing up next to you is one of the joys of my life. And there's very few people that I could imagine doing so with the sheer amount of just honesty and intelligence and integrity that you have. I'm proud to be your friend. I'm proud to be your heart sister. I'm proud to be part of whatever endeavor you have coming up next. Because like Elise said, we believe in you wholeheartedly. And just watching how you've changed, how you've grown, how you've opened, it's been an honor to be part of that too.
We forgot to mention that Nuance is good at the feels language.
Takes a monster to know a monster.
I'm actually like
nice
really
one.
tearing up. Holy shit.
I only missed one.
Huh?
I said we only missed one.
Missed one?
Yeah,
Missed one
the
what?
tears.
I didn't cry. Did I
Tears?
cry?
a little
You did
bit,
cry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn it. Hate you all. Everybody sucks. That's fair. You're a good
Is that a
person,
perfect
Seth.
score here?
You're perfect.
Group hug.
You're a good
Everybody-
person.
Group hug.
Group hug.
It's so weird to hear such nice things about me.
That's why we're all
You
here,
deserve to
babe.
hear them.
We would not be here if we didn't love each and every single one of you to bits and pieces.
This is a really special podcast, y'all. And we're messes. But, we're all really happy to be here and happy to produce this. And I'm glad you got to listen to our feels parade, because I think it's, important to know that we genuinely care about each other and that we genuinely appreciate the work that every single one of us has been doing, from being part of the cast to back end to production to everything. This is a very special thing in all of our hearts, and we are incredibly happy to share it with all of you. And with that note, I believe it's time to start heading out, y'all.
Sephi didn't think that the questions that we had were gonna fill up an hour.
Listen, okay? I was just concerned, all right?
If you give us one question, we'll find a way to talk about it for 2 hours.
True.
Not a problem.
All right.
I didn't even
So
get...
thank you everyone for your questions. Thank you our patrons for supporting us. Thank you our fans for listening to the podcast. It means the world. Season 2 begins in January. We have our holiday special coming on December 22nd. And we are so happy to have Noir with us and happy to give you another piece of the world before the next season starts. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Podbean to stay on top of everything. All of those things are at Fast Times D&D. That's Fast Times with D, the letter ND. I messed that up.
Got it.
If
You
you
did
want
it.
to support our endeavors financially and have the means to do so, I know COVID and not even just with COVID, just life in general is very hard right now. We are on Patreon and Ko-fi as Fast Times D&D. Again, that's D, the letter ND. Merch is coming soon. Please let us know either on Twitter or on our Discord or anywhere that you can reach us what you would like to see for merchandise. We are working very hard to make sure that we have something coming out to you soon. The music that was used in this live stream was all Kevin MacLeod, used with permission under the Creative Commons license. Individual tracks are in the description beneath the YouTube video. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our players. Where can we find all of you besides our Fast Times Twitter? Wren.
Okay, hi. I'm Wren. As you can see below me, I am at AtomicFirebird on Twitter. You can also check out at Make Believe Info for specific updates about Make Believe, my Discord community and Twitch channel. I'm, in addition to this podcast, in a podcast called Heroes of the Hydian Way. It is a Star Wars FFG system actual play that has been going on for over 2 years now, which I'm pretty proud of. We're all very gay in space. There's just not enough gay in space.
Can always be more gay in space.
Can always be more gay everywhere in all spaces.
And I think that's ultimately what's up. I'm going to be playing on go_JG's channel in a couple of weeks to do a playing of To Serve Her Wintry Hunger, which I'm really excited about because
That's cool.
a number of us LARP with the person that wrote that game.
Did you know about this and nobody told me?
I
Yeah,
didn't know
sorry.
about it.
I didn't either.
I'm not in the internet.
But yeah.
Elise?
You can find my SoundCloud that I share with my bestie, Just Jill, at soundcloud.com/brains-bars. I'm gonna hit enter on this link now because it's easier to look at than it is to say it.
Caro?
So instead of plugging myself, I would like to use the space to plug the fact that right now we're trying to get legislation passed for police reform. And I just tweeted out a petition that you can sign. It's a letter writing petition. So if you go check out my Twitter, it's at Caromur, CAR0MUR. Then you can see the link to the petition, which was put up by a Massachusetts senator. And if we can get this legislation passed, then Massachusetts will have the strongest police reform provisions in the entire United States. And this is just the beginning. So please get involved. It's just a couple of clicks. And if you're interested in getting more involved with other actions like this, then hit me up on Twitter and I'll be happy to share it with you.
We have a wide range of action items you can do, from things that are very, very simple and easy to do, very quick, and then also ones that you can sign up to do more regularly and get more involved, depending on what you're able to do.
I am adding, this is important, I'm adding the direct link into the chat.
I just retweeted it
Please.
from our official Twitter as well.
If
Thank
you
you.
have the time to do that, well, make the time, please.
Yes, please. It's super, super important.
Mm-hmm. Nuance.
Once again, going after Caro. Once again, very unfair.
Sorry.
I don't have any major world shaking. You
Dungeons and Ratinis!
Well, still not world shaking. So you can find me on Twitter at ShadowRaven, Ravyn. It's also very important that you know I'm only 38. This will make sense at a time. Derrick.
Eventually.
You can find me on Twitch at Booksome Wench. It is a pun. Don't at me. It's like one of the few funny ones that exist. Every other Thursday, I run Dungeons and Dratinis. It is my Pokemon homebrew, my 5e Pokemon homebrew. I also occasionally, I will sometimes stream video games or show up on other people's streams and video game there. On my Twitter account, I spend a lot of time either gushing about things, screaming about things, or lecturing about things. Like, I was kind of late to sign on to our previous stuff because I was talking about what happens when people have appropriated the word woke and how it's changed. So, follow. Oh,
sorry, that just hit me.
No, yeah, no, we can talk about it later. But yes, so come for the Sailor Moon gifts, stay for the random bits of folklore and thought, and then stop and think when I talk about intersectionality and the world. Yeah, that's what
Great
I got.
content all around.
Says who? You're not on Twitter.
Oh.
All right, that leaves me. I am at Persephoroth everywhere on the internet that you can find me, except AO3 because ain't nobody fighting my own fanfiction. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I am going to be starting video game streaming very soon. I'm actually going to be featured on a Norian's channel where we are going to do a commentary and playthrough of Threads of Fate. Tomorrow and every Wednesday during December, I will be on Gehenna Gaming channel, playing a character named Julie, who is in some trouble. It's a horror game. Trigger warnings do apply. It is deep, dark horror. It's cultist. I forget who made the game and the particular mod that we're doing. But it is like things get dark and it's a lot of religious horror. So don't check it out if you are squeamish about any of that. Just to be sure. And with that, I hope that if you are in Georgia or have available resources to help out the Georgia legislation in the runoff election that's coming up, I hope that you will support the correct side, which is not right, unlike what I said earlier, and make sure that we, have a Congress that can actually get stuff done that will help people who are poor or disenfranchised or marginalized.
Follow Stacey Abrams on Twitter.
You follow Stacey Abrams on Twitter. Anyway, with that, I will let all else go. Thank you so much for being here, and I want to leave you with this question. Where does the third sword go? Where does it go? Bye!
Stay tuned for a very quick slapdash little transition art thing I did, and bye.
Bye.